So as a part of prerequisite, these things would be added: RD connection broker, RD web access, session collection, and these are basically the server roles. So if I navigate to server here, no RD connection. Let us run the prerequisite once again because I believe they are not completely installed. So the prerequisite is something that you can run any moment of time. That's not a problem. Let's say after installation also, if somebody has mistakenly or accidentally deleted something or uninstalled any kind of rule, you are always good to get this prerequisites installed again. It will simply add the server roles and features, so that is basically needed for our PSM to work. So yesterday I was showing you like what exactly the prerequisites are. So first of all, we will disable NLA, install RDS, session collection, connection broker. So this is the prerequisite doing. Disable the NLA, install RDS, remote desktop services, session collection, connection broker, and verify .NET framework. So once this is completed, we are good to install it. So now you can see that it is installing connection broker here. It is being installed. Earlier it was missed. One by one, it will install all the rules. Now we can see that it is completely successful. Okay, without any issues, it is completed successfully. It has verified .NET framework, it has installed RDS, and it has disabled NLA as well. So if we navigate to server manager, let it resolve completely. So now we have installed everything. We have this RD web access, RD gateway, RD licensing, RD connection broker, whatever which is needed for the PSM, we have got this installed. So now we are through with the prerequisites. Now we'll go ahead with the next step called the installation. So we'll navigate to the setup folder, setup, right click, run as an administrator. These are the optional steps, so you can mark it as test. Now install Cyber Privilege Session Manager to this C drive. That means all the log files and the configuration file would be sitting in the C drive. But in the real-time scenario, will always choose a dedicated drive, that is E or D drive, so that when the logs are populated, it will sit in that particular drive itself. We do not want any kind of conflict to happen with our operating system directory. Same is the thing for the recordings as well. Now the recordings would sit into this part. C program file x86 CyberArk PSM recordings. Okay, but in ideal scenario, we will change the drive letter to D or something, so that it does not, because there would be a lot of recordings that are likely to happen once we start working. And in the production issues, in the real time production environment, the C drive is not the preferred option for such kind of recording storage. So now we need to specify the server address. It's 140.145. And the password for our administrator user. This is optional, so we will skip this. API gateway. Do you want to continue an update? Yes. So if you want an additional authentication as well, if you have PKI enabled in your organization and you want this to enable, PKI authentication enables you to establish PSM connection with authenticating with a smart card. So this is something, an extra layer of authentication that are enabled, that is enabled in some of the organization. So if the PKI authentication is not used in the organization, we are good to skip. So as of now, we don't have the PKI authentication. We'll skip this. So these are the hardening things that are happening. Disable screensaver for the PSM local users. Configure user for the PSM. Improve the non-RDP session. Reduce print. Okay, wait time hardening. Okay, TLS settings. Okay, let's go next. I will explain you about the hardening after that. Let it install first, and I will show you the workflow as well. What is the workflow behind it? Yesterday we have discussed, but I will show you in detail once the complete installation is done. So this is the second PSM since we are installing. So the safes were already installed in the one that I have installed earlier. That is the reason it is giving us the information that this safe is already available. So now the hardening is in place. So basically, hardening is, as I told you, that it is more of like adding restrictions to the OS, and and make sure that only the required services are running on the PSM services server, I would say. So this may take bit time because it is hardening. It will restrict all the unnecessary protocols and limit the services which are running currently on the server. So now I think it should be completed in a short while. I think it may take a bit longer, so we can discuss few things. Let me just refer this. We do have an option to write here or not? Sorry, just avoid the writing here, guys. So I just tell you one thing. Yesterday I have shown you that once you click on connect, first and foremost, you are taken to the PSM. Okay. Now to RDP the PSM, you require some sort of account which will give you the RDP access till the PSM. So this is the PSM Connect account that gets created in the PSM server once we install it. There are two users which are created, or I should say the two accounts which are created in the server called PSM Connect and PSM Admin Connect. So the purpose of PSM Connect is give you first RDP till the PSM server. Okay, once you reach till the PSM server, there is a internal user, CyberArk user, I would say. This is the OS user. This is created within the PSM server. This user called the PSM gateway user is the application user. Just like administrator we have in CyberArk, similarly we have PSM gateway user and PSM app user created in the CyberArk as well. So the purpose of PSM gateway user is to retrieve the password of the onboarded account. So let's say if I want to connect to a server with the with the admin one account, I have onboarded an admin one account of a Windows server, and I want to connect with that admin one account through CyberArk. So this PSM gateway will retrieve the password of this admin one account from the vault, and it will inject it to the target machine. Okay, so this is something you can see that in the course of hardening we used to disable the screensaver for this. So you might have observed that if you are leaving your system for idle for some time, eventually the screen gets locked out. What it is nothing but the idle screen lockout timeout. Okay, so we do not want that to happen with the PSM Connect, because if the screen gets locked, the user will not be able to access the target machines either. So in that case, during the course of hardening, we will disable the screensaver. Let me show you in this now. So now if I show you in this PSM server, there are two users created called PSM Connect and PSM Admin Connect as a part of installation. These are the two users created, PSM Admin Connect and PSM Ad Connect. So once you click connect from your PWA server, or sorry, PWA UI, this particular user PSM Connect will give you access till the PSM server. Since it's a member of PSM RDP group here, remote desktop group, it's a member of remote desktop group, so that it can provide you access till the PSM server. Once you reach the PSM server, the PSM gateway will pull the password for you and it will inject the password into the target machine. So now we are done with the installation here. We can see the services running for the PSM, which is Privilege Session Manager service. This is running PSM Privilege Session Manager service. Let's see the logs as well. This is the prerequisite logs. This is the installation logs. So you can see that here it has created this user, OS user, PSM Connect and PSM Admin Connect. Okay, now we see the hardening logs as well. So this is something it is making changes at the registry level. Okay, we are not able to understand what it has done, but basically, if I were to tell you what it is doing, this is we can see at the configuration file of the hardening. Let me just show you. So here we have the hardening folder. Sorry, we'll go to installation automation. Here we have the hardening folder, and you can see the things that it is doing. Hide local drives, run the hardening script, run the local setup rules. Okay. Let me just open this up so we can make it more descriptive. Okay, here also it's not revealing much. So let me tell you what it is doing actually. First and foremost, it is disabling the screensaver for these two users. So if there is an idle timeout, the screen will lock out and it won't allow the users to connect to the target machine at all. So we are just making sure that the screensaver is disabled for these two users. Okay, now why do we have this PSM admin connect? This is intended for the auditor. So if the auditor wants to check, like I have shown you that there is an option wherein you can see the live session as well. If you want to kick out someone, if somebody is not doing anything appropriate, you can kick out him as appropriate. So whenever the audit connects, for auditor, this PSM admin connect will allow the session till the PSM, and this PSM admin connect is also a member of remote desktop users, but this is specifically for the auditors. Now, if we see the changes in the PVWA, what we should be aware about. Just a second. So here you can see that now the PSMs are added. The one that we have just now created, it is added here. Configured PSM server. So we already had one PSM server which was created by me. The other PSM we have just installed. You can see this is coming up with the server name over here. This is my first PSM. This is my second PSM. So we have two PSMs added. Now, if I were to use this PSM, the latest that I have created as of now, what I will do, I will simply need to add the IP or sorry ID of this PSM into the platform. This is the ID of this PSM. I will copy this ID, go to the platform. So we have onboarded one account here with this platform, domain test platform. I will go on this platform, click on add it, go on UI and workflow, privilege session manager management. This is the ID which is of my earlier PSM. I will replace it with the new PSM ID. Now going onwards, whenever I click on connect, it will use this new PSM to connect to this account. So we'll see that. This is the account, test admin one account. So if we click on connect now, test new PSM. This is the IP address of my target machine which I want to connect. This is the test admin one account which is created on the target machine. Now, first and foremost, the session would be given to us with the PSM Connect, the local PSM Connect, which was created in the new PSM. So now you can see the IP is changed 171, which is the IP of our new PSM. So first of all, we are going to the new PSM, and from there it will connect us to the target machine, which is this ending with 150. Okay, now we have connected through this target machine with the new PSM. If I were to see that, I will go to new PSM. I click on this task manager. Go to users, and you can see this PSM Connect is connected here. The first session is for the admin one, which we have directly logged in with. The second is for the PSM Connect, which has given the session for the user. We have seen that PSM Connect is there. So the PSM Connect is basically the local user for this PSM, which is giving it to the which is giving an RDP session till the PSM server.
So the PSM Connect user is recorded on PSM server, not on target server, right?
Yes, yes. PSM Connect is just limited till PSM. It will give you session till PSM. From the PSM gateway user will pull the password and it will inject into the target machine. So basically, in this case, this is my target account. This is my target user. Okay. So before reaching to this target server, I need to reach till the PSM. Once I reach the PSM, then the PSM will basically pull the password for this for this test admin one account, and it will inject on this target server. Let me just move it in Notepad. That will make more sense to you. I will make use of this example only. So let's suppose this is our target server we want to connect. Okay. In this target server, we have PSM Connect user. Sorry, it's not there. This is our target server. This target server we want to access with test admin one. Okay, now to simplify things, let's see this. First of all, I will click on this PBWA. Okay, once I click on PBWA, it will connect me to the PSM server. How it will connect? It will connect with the PSM Connect. With what protocol? RDP. It will give me an RDP till PSM server with the help of this PSM Connect. I am reaching till PSM server. Once I'm in PSM server, okay, now this is the test admin one through which I want to connect to this target server. Let me put the IP of this target server as well. Okay, this is the test admin one which I have created in this server, target server. Okay, now the password of this target server, this target server account that we have onboarded in PAM is this, which is basically onboarded in Vault. Okay, so PSM server, once we reach the PSM server, the PSM gateway account will pull the password of this test admin one from the vault. This is the PSM gateway account which is created in the cyber app. It will pull the password from the vault and it will inject the password in this target server, the username test admin and the password of this test admin one. So finally we would get the session. It is not just for RDP I'm saying, but whatever the target device we are accessing, whether it is website or Unix device or well or any mainframe device or any database, it will do the same behavior. Is it understandable now? I mean, if there are any questions, feel free to let me know.
Yes, got it, Ajay.
Okay. So this is the workflow, guys, that happens in the PSM. Now, now regarding the logs, what are the different logs of the PSM? So the main log is basically the PSM console log, which will let you know that whether the PSM service is up and running. If it is not running, why it is not running. If the PSM gateway account user is logged out, app user is logged out. In that case, the PSM service will not come up. So I just show you. So here we have installed the PSM, and here we have the logs. This is the main log file, PSM console log. So you can see that IP address of PSM which is connecting to, it is connecting to the port which is with the IP address 140. And as of now, you can see the privilege session manager is up. If I stop this service, it will be indicated in the logs as well. Before I stop it, let us cancel this, sign off this session. Let me stop this. So now the PSM service is stopped. You can see that has been normally terminated. Okay. So since it is normally terminating, it is not providing us any error. We have purposely stopped the service. It is normally terminated. But let's see if the connectivity has lost with the vault. PSM server is not able to communicate with the vault. The app or gateway users are logged out or something happened. Or maybe the dependent services are not. I don't think there is any dependent service though, but just an example. Let's start it now. There is no dependencies for that. So in that case, that would be indicated in the PSM console log. I mean, PSM console is the main log for your PSM server. Then we have the component logs as well. Component logs are basically, let's say, if we were unable to connect to the server which we have just connected. Whenever a session is created, it will basically create a session ID. So let's say if I connect to some server for an example from this PVWA. Okay, I connected. So basically, each session creates a session ID. If you see in the activities logs here, whenever a session is created, you can see that PSM connect use password is there, PSM disconnect is happening. Okay, Now, whatever you're doing, it is being captured here as well. You opened mmc.exe, okay, you opened this thing Internet Explorer in the target machine. So whatever the keystrokes or anything GUI access you are doing on the target machine, that are getting captured as well. But the thing I want to notice is basically for each session there is a corresponding session ID. So let's say if the session has initiated, there is a session ID over here. This is a session ID. Now, as of now, the session is going good. We are not having any issue. We can connect without any issue. But let's say if a session was not connected without with some problem, it ended up in some problem. So through this session ID, you can get to know the logs. These are the session logs. There is nothing much here because we have successfully connected. That's the reason it's not populating much logs here. But ideally, it should populate logs like, if the RDP port is blocked, if there is something which is blocking the RDP connection to happen, if the account itself has no rights to communicate to the machine, the account that we are using, that is test admin one, is not a member of RDP group. If some other protocol is not letting us getting into the server, so that all would be populated in the session logs. You can copy the session ID and you can come under this page and you can search the logs and you would be able to do that. So here we have the session logs. This is an information log. Ideally, it's giving us an error, but it's not something that you need to bother about. The main thing is if the session is not established, that's the main thing. So here we were able to establish the session, so that's not a problem at all. Now there is one more thing, guys. I wanted to show you in this that in this we have just discussed about it. Yeah, once you reach the PSM server, so let's say if I have logged in as a in the PVW, I have logged in as a administrator user. Okay, let's not do that. You can see that I have logged in as an administrator user. Okay. Now, once I click on this on this PVW, I will click on connect. The PSM connect will take me to the till the PSM server. Okay, then it will retrieve the password of test admin one. It will inject the password into this target server, the username and password, and I would be having the session. Now, every user which has logged in into the PVWA has his profile in the PSM. So in the PSM, it will always set up a shadow profile. Shadow profile is nothing but your profile, the user's profile that would be created in the PSM. So if I have logged in the PWA as an administrator, there would be a shadow user created on behalf of administrator. Let me show you here. Now you can see there is a group called PSM shadow users. Okay, so shortly, it is not having any good user created. Let me get into the other PSM. It will create users when the service is in a short while, the refresh interval, it will create that thing. Let me just reboot this once. And let me start the other PSM in case if the shadow users are not yet created here. So now here you can see there is a shadow user created. Shadow user is nothing but a profile of this administrator. Okay, this is this is the shadow user, and this is the name of the user. The administrator I used to log in the PWA with, but for administrator, this is the shadow user created locally in the PSM server. So what is the purpose of this shadow user? Okay, what the shadow user does? Whenever you connect to any target device, whether you are connecting to a database, remote desktop, to a Windows server, website, or anything, shadow user is the one that basically launches the clients for you. If you're connecting to a Windows server, the shadow user will launch the RDP client. If you're connecting to Unix server, the shadow user will launch the SSH client. If you're connecting to database, the shadow user will launch the Toad client or MySQL or whatever the clients which are installed on the PSM, it would be launched by the PSM. If you're connecting to a website, that means the browser would be launched by the shadow user. So the shadow user is nothing but the corresponding profiles of yours which are given access to the different clients which are installed in the PSM. Here it is not there. Let me show you from. So now you can see there is a group called PSM shadow users. Okay. If I go to properties, exceptions, you can see this shadow user has rights to launch this WinSCP. Similarly, the shadow user would have rights to launch SCP as well, WinSCP as well. Similarly, the shadow user would have rights to launch the SSH client as well. Similarly, this shadow user would have rights to launch the RDP session as well. So basically, the shadow users are the profile which has rights to do all the stuff on your behalf. You can see this is the SQL Management Studio it can do. Similarly, it should have rights to do the open up the browser as well. So whatever the clients which are installed in the PSM, the shadow user would be launching that for you.